guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you guys an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you stayed for a while, grabbed a snack, and click the subscribe button. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2021, and I am hoping that you can help me in achieving that. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you guys more than you know. So for today's video, I'm actually pretty excited. I have kind of made it a goal this year to bring more luxury brands into my channel, if money permits it, of course. And I've been on a total kick of watching Morgan Turner. She is a YouTuber here. I'll go ahead and link her channel down below. Well, one of her specialties is luxury brands, so like Charlotte Tilbury, Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, Gucci, Dior. She loves her luxury makeup. And just watching her play with the luxury makeup, I'm like, okay, I need to try some of that. So I have definitely added some luxury makeup products in my collection. Pat McGrath, a little more Natasha Denona. And so I decided to purchase a full face, well, kind of a full face, of Charlotte Tilbury. Yay! So this is my first time testing out Charlotte Tilbury products. We are going to put all of this makeup on my face. If that sounds like something you would like to see, then why don't you go ahead and keep on watching. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you first real quick everything I got. I was on the website and I was putting stuff in my cart. I was kind of keeping it to a minimal, basically getting like the most essential products. My budget was the most $200. So yeah, with Charlotte Tilbury, because she's expensive, girl, that can add up real quick. So I purchased the Instant Look of Love palette. This is a face palette. It has eyeshadows, it has blush, highlighter, contour, and a setting powder. I think it's an under eye setting powder. I bought some lip products and it's like the little mini version. I bought a concealer, hopefully it's the right shade, and foundation. Oh yeah, I am so excited to put this on my face. I really hope that I picked the correct shades for the concealer and the foundation. So let's get started. I already primed my face. I did use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Serum. This is like the little mini size. And they also sent me a sample of the Wonder Glow. This is the Instant Soft Focus Beauty Glow Primer. So I already have that on my face and we are going to lay down the foundation. Such beautiful packaging off the bat. I do really love it. It is a glass bottle, so it's pretty heavy duty. It's actually smaller than I pictured it would be. I don't think I've ever physically actually looked at the foundation anytime I go to Sephora. I did end up getting the shade 5.5. I did do the match little shade thing on the website, but the shade he picked for me, at least I thought it was way too light. We'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Hopefully this shit works for me. I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. And those of you wondering what's going on with my lips, I did go in and get a touch up on my lip filler. It was driving me crazy. One side of my upper lip has always been uneven on the other side, and so the last time I went in, this is taking forever, to get my lips done, it became more prominent and it was just driving me crazy. So every time I filmed, every time I took a picture, I noticed it. And since Mother's Day is on Sunday, that was my Mother's Day present to me from my fiance. Okay, I finally got some on the back of my hand. That took forever. I'm using a Sigma Kabuki brush, the F82. It's just like a little domed foundation brush. It looks like it's going to be a good match for me. Yes, I definitely feel that if I would have gone with the shade 4 that they suggested, it would have been way too light for me. All right, that is what the foundation looks like. If you're not familiar with Charlotte Tilbury foundations, at least this one, the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'm not familiar with the formula, but from what I have seen reviews on, it's a pretty full coverage foundation. It's definitely not my preferred finish, but I figured it's Charlotte Tilbury, might as well go with a full coverage foundation. We are planning to have our wedding next year, so if I absolutely love it, then this is probably the foundation I'll be wearing for that occasion. Now for the Magic Away liquid concealer, I am not a fan of this. I don't like this little unsanitary thing. I did get in the shade 5. Those of you who don't know or haven't been here a while, I don't like my under eye too bright, so that is why I chose a shade that is close to my foundation shade. FYI, I purchased this with my money. The total for my order was $158.40 plus tax. It came out to $171.51. Yeah, so I purchased this with my own money. FYI. Okay, I think I finally got some product on there, kinda. I don't want to take too much out because I don't put a lot of concealer under my eyes. Those of you who have been here for a while know that. Okay, I finally got some and I'm just gonna dot it because I don't like a lot of concealer. I'm already not a big fan of this concealer. Charlotte Tilbury, can you work on a different concealer applicator, please? I would greatly appreciate it. And look, I already, like, look how much I have already gone up. See? I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this. Not a fan. We'll see how it performs and if the performance makes up for the packaging. All right, so my base looks pretty good. I am not a fan of this packaging at all. Oh my goodness. As you can see, my concealer is just a tiny bit brighter than my foundation. That's how I like it. All right, the next thing I purchased is the Look of Love face palette. This is in the medium shade. She only came out with 2 shades this year. The previous year she came out with a face palette as well, but it was only 1 shade, and I believe mine came broken, so I had to press this shade in there. It was pretty much the same thing, except this was a second blush and this was the highlighter. So I kind of like this layout better. Those of you who have been here know that I made a video of items in the makeup world that you waste your money on, and one of them is face palettes. That was on my list. But the concept of this face palette I actually do really enjoy because it makes more sense to have a powder here to set either your face or your under eyes rather than this be a highlighter, because there's no way you're going to go through a highlighter that's this big. You're lucky if you go through that, you know? So I'm actually pretty excited to use this, and this is the first shade. She has one for light skin tones, and then the second palette is for like the darker tan skin tones. I definitely feel just like other brands that don't have a ton of inclusivity that she should have added a third one, but at least this year she added a second one versus just one, so I guess we got to give it to her for that. But she definitely needs to work on that, Miss Charlotte. So now what I'm going to dip into is the face powder. So this is like her absolute most famous formulas. It's what she's known for, so I am pretty excited to test out this face powder that everybody raves about. I'm going to use it on my under eyes. Everybody says that it's blurring. We shall see if that's true. Okay, I can definitely see the blurring effect that people talk about. Alright guys, this is what my face is looking like. My base is looking pretty nice and smooth, pretty flawless. That powder, I do think it's nice, but I'm going to have to keep playing with it and see if I love it. My face is definitely looking very makeup-y, which I'm not a big fan of. You guys know this if you've been here for a while, but it's okay. I did go ahead and set the rest of my face with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I like to set my whole face with translucent powder, not with powder. I don't like to add more coverage to my foundation. And I did also add some contour. This is the Wayne Goss Bronze and Contour palette that he just came out with. Now I am going to go into number 4, which is the bronzer in the palette. I did swatch the powder, the bronzer, the blush, and the highlighter in that order, and I'll go ahead and insert the video here just so you could see the swatches of that. Okay, so this bronzer is actually pretty nice. I do wish that the pans were a tiny bit bigger, That way I can really dip my brush in there, but it's fine. When I did swatch the bronzer, I did feel like it might be a little too light, but now that I'm putting it on, it actually is working pretty well. I am not mad about that. It's a beautiful color. And these powders, guys, they feel silky smooth. When I was swatching them, I was like, okay. I felt like I was rubbing my fingers on silk. They are so soft. All right, now we are going to the eyes, and I primed with my Alamar Cosmetics primer. This is a very sticky base, so I did set the primer down with the face powder in the palette just to give me an excuse to use it again and test it out, I guess. Okay, now the eyes, and there's 3 shades in this palette. It looks like we have a matte and maybe a lit shade, and that looks like a topper, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a lit shade and maybe this as a topper. I don't know, we'll see what we're using. Okay, so I brought you in a little bit closer. First shade I'm going to go in is that dark matte brown, and I'm using a Morphe M330, and I'm going to use this on the outer corner and kind of buff it out into my crease a little bit. I'll go ahead and insert swatches of the eyeshadow colors in this face palette. They swatched pretty good. They also felt pretty good. So I'm excited to be doing this eye look with these and test out Charlotte's formula. Maybe I'll invest in a larger one. Okay, there's that color laid down. I do feel like it's a little bit patchy, but I honestly feel that it's my base. So I'll have to keep testing this palette out and the shadows in it just to make sure, but I do see just a tiny bit of patchiness. All right, now I'm going to go into that middle shade, cool tone brown, and I'm going to use this on my outer corner, but I will also be going towards the middle. I am using the same brush, the M330. I just wiped it with my color switch to get that pigment off. And this color is definitely a little more lighter than it looks on the pan. What do you guys think? Maybe I should pack it on with finger. What do you guys think? It definitely looks lighter on my lid, that's for sure. Okay, so that color is beautiful. It definitely is lighter than I expected it, but that's totally okay. So I just went in and with my finger, it worked great. Now I'm going to go into the highlighting shade, and I'm going to use that in the inner corner of my eye. I'm using a packing brush. This is a Sigma Sweeper E54, and I am using the highlight in the face palette, and I'm using it in my inner corner. Just kind of brighten up the eye just a tiny bit. Okay, now I am going to go into that first shade, which is the topper shade, and this is such a beautiful shade. Gorgeous. When I had to press it back in because it came broken, well, it wasn't really broken, it was just out of the pan. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm excited for that shade. Pretty little topper shade. As you can see, this is nothing evolutionary. It's not like an evolutionary eye look. It's a very simple eye look, which is fine. Beautiful, gorgeous. Okay, this is what we have for the eyes. I did not have a Charlotte Tilbury brow pencil or brow products. Also mascara. I did not purchase anything. Like I said, I had a $200 budget, so yeah. I did use the highlighter for my brow bone, and I feel it looks very beautiful. Note, okay guys, my under eyes are looking so good right now. I have creases under my eyes, everybody does, but my under eyes are usually on the very dry side. With my pregnancy hormones, they got even worse, and it's taking them a while to get back to my normal dryness. I still feel like they're still very dry, and right now, like even though I have creases, the powder, the setting powder, Charlotte Tilbury's little magic powder or whatever it's called, as I was doing like my eyeshadow, I noticed, and I literally had to take a closer look and look in my creases, and I'm just like, My under eyes have never looked better. Like, this powder might take away my Wet n Wild powder for my under eyes. That is how good it is. And if I keep using it and I keep loving the way it looks, then I might just have to go and purchase the full size of this powder, because it is, like, I'm telling you, I am so in awe right now with how my under eyes are looking. Yeah. Now we're going to go into the blush in the palette. Now this blush does have a little bit of shimmer or sheen, and I don't like sheen on my blushes, but let's go ahead and test it out and see how it looks. If you have been here for a while, you guys already know that I do not like sheen on my cheeks. And the reason behind that is because I already have a round face. So when there is sheen on my cheeks, it just makes it look rounder, and it makes my cheeks look more plumpier than they already are, if that's even a word. But yeah, so that's the reason why I don't like sheen or shimmer on my blushes. But you can't really tell on this. The new blushes that Pat McGrath is coming out with looks like they have sheen, and that makes me so sad. I'm still going to purchase, but hopefully it's not too intense. Okay, so yeah, okay. All right, so they don't look too, you know, glowy. Okay, now I'm going to use the highlighter for my face, my cheeks, and I'm using a Sigma F35. This is their highlighter brush. This is a recent purchase, and I'm really loving this brush as a highlighting brush. Beautiful. I don't see it accentuating any texture. It's actually blurring out. All right. I'm liking it. I am liking it. It is okay. Okay, the last thing is the lips, and I purchased the Pillow Talk little mini set. It's a lip liner and a bullet lipstick, and it's in the original Pillow Talk shade. I think this is so super cute. I have so many lip liners that this was perfect. I love the fact that they have this little mini version of like a lip kit. If I go through this lip liner, then that means, okay, you obviously are using it a lot and you need to purchase a new one. All right, now the lipstick, I love this shade. It is beautiful. It is right up my alley, guys. How cute is this little lipstick? Oh my goodness. All right. Super smooth, super creamy. All right, guys, and this is it. This is the final finished look. What do you think? I really, really love everything on my face right now. Like the makeup I have on right now, wow. I honestly did not expect to love it this much. Like, if this is the makeup that I wear for my wedding, I would be more than happy. Like, my makeup right now, I feel looks flawless. Holy heck. Wow. So let's go down all the products that I used. I've had this for a little bit. If you have been here for a while, I did a video where I purchased a bunch of little mini makeup products from a good amount of brands, and I've been using this here and there, not every time I do my makeup, but I have, and I really, really, really love it. The sample primer that I got, so far I like it. So far I like it. Okay, foundation. So even though upon first application, I was not happy because it looked like I was wearing makeup. And you guys know that I am a gal who loves makeup that looks like my skin, but better. Once everything else has been applied, I actually am really enjoying the way my face looks. It does definitely look like I'm wearing makeup, but it doesn't look cakey or anything, which is awesome. I was kind of scared when I first applied it that it was going to look that way, but it is not. I don't feel like it is. This is definitely not an everyday foundation. This is definitely a foundation that me, myself, and I personally would wear for like a date night, or say I'm attending a wedding or like my wedding. I definitely feel like I'm going to keep using this, and if I keep loving it as much as I do, this is the foundation that I will be using for my wedding. So super excited. Okay, the concealer. Oh, the concealer. Even though it is a pretty good formula, I did not put too much concealer on. You guys already know I don't like a lot of concealer on my under eyes. It looks pretty well. It did what I wanted it to do, which is just cover a little bit and brighten up just a tiny bit, like one shade lighter than my actual shade on my face, and it did exactly that. The applicator though, look at this applicator. It is so unsanitary. It is just, you can very easily pour out too much product on the dofa and then like that product goes to waste because it's going to dry out, and it's just, I mean, unless you use this every day, I just... Charlotte Tilbury, please, please, please work on a different packaging for your concealer. This face palette. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Wow is all I can say. For me making a video of products that I will not be purchasing and wasting my money on, and face palette being one of them, this is definitely a face palette that I would suggest you buying. Especially if you are like me and you wanted to test out Charlotte Tilbury without having to break the bank. I mean, even though, keep in mind, yes, this is $75. I know, this little thing is $75. But you do get to test out a couple of her formulas in this product. You get to test out her eyeshadows. You get to test out her powder, her infamous powder, which now I know why it's so amazing. Her blushes, which even though there is sheen on this blush, I actually really do love the way it looks. Her highlighter and her bronzer, which I actually do really love the color of the bronzer. I'm definitely glad that I purchased this one, which is meant for like lighter shade tones. Everything about this palette, I really did enjoy. I really, really, really did. Yeah, I'm like shocked at how much I like this face palette. I normally, there's like 1, 2, sometimes 3 things of a face palette that I'm like, gosh, I just wasted my money because I don't like half of the products in that palette. I love every product in this palette. This is the Instant Look of Love palette. This is actually a recent launch for her line. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed the formula of the eyeshadows. So I might need to invest in an eyeshadow palette, like an actual eyeshadow palette. I'm just gonna have to wait and see when I can do that. Okay, the lippies. I'm actually very happy that Charlotte Tilbury does offer little mini like lip duos, the lip liner and the bullet lipstick, because say you purchase it and you don't like it, at least now instead of having a full-size product to get rid of, now you just have this small product to get rid of. So I really enjoyed that. Collecting my thoughts, 100%. I loved everything. My face right now, I'm telling you, my face right now looks flawless. Like, I have Morgan Turner to blame for this because she raves about Charlotte Tilbury so much, and now she has me loving Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm like, girl, everything is so expensive. Wow, like I'm literally wowed. All right guys, well that concludes this video, and I obviously give Charlotte Tilbury and her makeup pretty much 2 big old thumbs up, except for that concealer in the packaging. That's the only thing. That's the only bad thing. Well, I hope you loved this video. I hope you had fun watching me test out Charlotte Tilbury. I definitely had a great time, and I am more than happy with what I purchased. I'm glad I am, because $170 is a lot of money, and it's not even a full face. So why don't you let me know down below if you have tried Charlotte Tilbury. What do you think? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you refuse to buy it because the price range is just ridiculous? Because honestly and truly, it is a little ridiculous. Thank you so much for being here. I would love it if you gave this video a big ol' thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm and hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel, and hopefully help me hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2021. So on that note, if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. It would mean the world to me if you helped me reach, like I said a minute ago, 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2021. That is the goal. I'm putting it out there on the universe, and I would love it if you guys could help me out. Okay guys, I will see you on the next video. Bye.